What's up? It's Keith, and it's Plugged On, and I'm here with an album review. Green Day's new album, Father of All. So this is the latest album from Green Day, the follow-up to Revolution Radio, which came out in 2018. I should have probably double-checked that, but yeah, I believe it's 2018 when that album came out. 2016. All right, I was close. So it's 2016, but yeah, so they've been kind of putting songs out for this album for the last couple months, starting off with the title track, Father of All. They put out Fire, Ready, Aim, and Oh Yeah a couple months back, and so now the whole thing's here. But yeah, this album doesn't excite really all that much. I think the main issue is that it doesn't really sound like Green Day. Now, I think in a lot of ways, Green Day, they're in a tough position because they probably want to just write whatever the heck they want, which is fair, but then everybody wants their pop punk stuff. I mean, that's why Revolution Radio was a little bit of the first good album they've had probably since 21st Century Breakdown, because it was more of like a return to form for them, and it had a lot of good pop punk songs. I mean, the title track and Bang Bang are good examples, and Still Alive is another good track from that album. This album, I don't really think there's really any sort of standout track. I mean, Father of All, which was the first single they put out, I mean, it doesn't even really sound like Green Day, like mostly with the vocals. Billy Joe Armstrong does some weird stuff with his vocals that to me sounds, which is kind of ironic because they're touring with both these bands. It kind of either sounds like a cross between Fall Out Boy and Green Day, and not Green Day, and Weezer. That's the other band they're touring with. And so, I don't know. So that when that song came out, that kind of put me like a little on edge with the whole thing. And then Fire, Ready, Aim, and Oh Yeah are fine. It's just I feel like there's a lot of the oomph has been sucked out of the production of those songs, and kind of the whole album in general. Like, the production on this album doesn't really hit at all, and I think part of that is due to the kind of songs that are on this album, which I wouldn't really call this a pop punk album. This is maybe even a bit more of just a pop album, with songs like Meet Me on the Roof and I Was a Teenager. The one song that I think is kind of which makes sense knowing how what they play live. Stab You in the Heart sounds like an early 50s rock song in a lot of ways, which is cool. But I feel like if there was more stuff like that maybe surrounding the album, it would be a little bit better. The song Graffitia is kind of, and again, another very poppy song, and I remember that song a good bit. Or see that's also the problem with this album, is that I feel like none of the songs are really all that distinct. So I'm trying to remember which song this has, but I think it's either Take the Money and Crawl or Graffitia uses a similar line to She's a Rebel from American Idiot, and it's like, oh, okay, I don't know if that's accidental or if they were trying to here's a reference to here's a reference to probably our best album. But yeah, it's just this album lacks the oomph that a lot of Green Day albums have. It's them trying to capture the same sort of outcast loner sort of vibes that albums like 21st Century Breakdown or Dookie or American Idiot have, but it doesn't have the energy behind it. I think that's maybe the thing that this album lacks the most, more so than anything else, more so than the familiar sound or some message. It's just there's no energy here. Again, none of the songs sort of blend together a good bit, and then yeah, that's the main issue. It doesn't sound like Green Day on half of this album. And who knows, maybe this album's a grower and over time it'll grow on me, but it's at least the album's short. It's only 26 minutes long, so at least yeah, it's only 10 songs. It is a short album. You can get through the whole thing in really quickly, but I think, but the thing is, I think that's more so it hurts the album than does anything, because there's just not a lot of meat on the bones to a lot of these songs. I think the production is very just, it's a very flat production, and the songs themselves don't really excite, is kind of the problem here. So, yeah, I mean, like, so probably, I think maybe either Stab You in the Heart or Oh Yeah are probably, and Fire Ready Aim is a pretty alright song. So one of those three songs are probably the best songs on the album. But like otherwise, the album kind of blends together, or is memorable but not in kind of a good way. I guess if I had to give this album a rating, because it's not terrible, it's just not memorable. So I'd give it like a 5. It's like a 5 out of 10 album. Honestly, I got excited because I was like, new Green Day. Green Day is my girlfriend's favorite band, so I was like, oh, I had a new Green Day. We could listen to a new Green Day album together. And then, I don't know, even she, and she's like the biggest Green Day fan I know. She goes, man, I don't thrive with this album, and it disappoints me. And I kind of can't help but agree with that. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Again, check out all our other reviews and stuff we got coming up on the channel. And yeah, talk to you guys later.